Whether you want to win the World Championship of Public Speaking or just want to give better speeches, you need a quality speech mentor. Keyword, quality. But what is that? How can you find one, and what benefit can they give you? My friend Daniel Mitson Short and I recount this and more in part 2 of this story of my journey to become world champion of public speaking. The International Speech Contest is comprised of 6 different rounds, and in 2012, my thought process is I'm winning all 6 in my first year because it is destiny.
I want to be the Toastmasters International Champion. I plan on being the Toastmasters International Champion of 2012. It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
After the area contest in 2012, a tall man walks up to me. Without even introducing himself, he says to me, "Do you want to know why you lost?" Meanwhile, I'm thinking, Mr. Tallman also tells me that you need help. What's really bad about it is that I knew even before the area contest that I needed help. But why didn't I ask for it?
Even I fall into this trap where I think that I have to do it all by myself.
Right.
In the beginning, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get a little guidance.
Yeah.
Do you remember that tip that I talked about in the last video about dropping ego? In 2012, I had yet to embrace that tip. But that was changing because in 2013, I made a new goal.
2013, the mindset then became, I need to at least get past area.
Right.
Round number 2.
Yep.
At this point, I had 2 potential people to help me. There was Mr. Tallman, who at this point in time, I still wanted to drop kick, so he was out of the equation. But joking aside, there was already somebody that I had known for years. This was a high-profile Toastmaster member who, miraculously enough, was a teacher at the college I attended. I had met him a few years back, and he honestly changed my life forever.
When I was a sophomore in college, I had a very traumatic speaking experience. Let's just leave it there.
Okay.
And the person who told me about Toastmasters was the 2005-2006 president, Dilip Abhisekera.
Right. Yep.
He was another person whose ability to speak I admired. I saw his ability to eloquently state what was on his mind. I wanted that ability.
Yeah.
2013, that was the year where I went back to Dilip Abhisekera and asked him to be my mentor and coach.
Turns out that the best mentor for me was right in front of my face, but I didn't take advantage of it until 2013. Now, I'm sure that you have goals, and there are people out there who can help you with your goals. But even if you don't suffer from ego, you may be limited by something else. Some people only see mentors who are standing at the pinnacle of success. For instance, somebody may see only the world champion of public speaking, and when they do that, they ignore their local champions, even though those local champions have more experience than they do. The people who are directly around you and the people you have direct access to who have more experience than you, those are the people you should be seeking mentorship from first. But that's not all there is to it. There's a little bit more.
And he had been a finalist by that stage, is that right? So the reason I asked that is because you went directly to someone who was where you wanted to be, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what I've learned is a trap. We tend to seek advice from people who haven't walked the path.
Yep.
You know? And in Toastmasters, we love all Toastmasters, but you will get a lot of feedback, a lot of people willing to help you, right? And the challenge is sometimes those people, as well-meaning as they are, they haven't walked that path. People in your club, they may love you, people in your area and district, they will love you, but they haven't walked the path. They can't show you how to get to the top if they haven't been there, you know? And that sounds kind of mean in a way, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be, know who you're taking advice from, I guess, is the lesson I'm hearing there.
Exactly.
It helps you too, because otherwise you do get overwhelmed, you know,
Yep.
especially because there is this desire to help and everyone wants you to win. And especially in your district, you know, there's that huge encouragement, but it becomes overwhelming as you progress through the years and you have to be more selective in who you're receiving that feedback from.
Daniel touched on something extremely important. You don't want just anybody helping you. Sometimes even the people who are experienced may not be the right person to help you. What you want to do is make sure that your potential mentor can meet the 5 criteria that make a quality mentor. One, they have been where you want to go. Daniel honestly summed it up best. You want to find somebody who has been where you want to go, somebody who has been on the journey that you want to travel or has achieved some success that you want to achieve. Sometimes you may be lucky that you can find somebody who's highly skilled, but at the very least, find someone who has more experience than you do. Two, they fit your speaking style. Now, I want to be fair to Mr. Tallman. This was the only box that he did not check. Otherwise, he actually would have been a great potential mentor for me. But I saw his style before and I didn't think that it would be a great match. You want to make sure that you and your mentor don't have clashing styles. If you have clashing styles, then you may butt heads, which can lead to a contentious relationship. That's something that you don't want. Three, they practice and teach the fundamentals. I'll talk about a key fundamental that I learned from Dilip later on in this video. But just know that your mentor needs to focus on the fundamentals and they need to be a master of those fundamentals too. Four, they will give you unbiased feedback. I remember back in 2013, I gave Dilip a speech and I thought that this was the best speech ever. Now, somebody who was trying to spare my feelings and make me feel good, they would have told me that, oh yeah, this is really great and we can work even more on it. Dilip, however, he told me that this isn't making it past division, if it can get by area. Now, he said it a lot nicer than that, but that's basically what it meant. Five, and this one is important, they will encourage you to be different. A quality mentor will never, ever, ever tell you that their way is the only way. They will give you the room to try new things and be different. If you have a mentor who says that you have to follow my way and no way else, you need to run away from them as fast as possible. Now, obviously, you know that I became the world champion of public speaking, but from 2012 to 2013, what was the direct result of me being mentored by Dilip?
So he was the one who taught me about the fundamentals of storytelling, the fundamentals of building a speech. And with his help from 2012 to 2013, I went to the semifinals for the first time.
Yeah, amazing. That was an achievement.
That was the direct contest result, but I also gained something more. I grew in character. I accepted my faults in 2012. Back in that area contest, I probably was the most talented speaker who spoke. But just because you're the most talented does not mean you have the best speech. It does not mean that you have the better story. With help from my mentor, I learned to take accountability for my own delivery. It is no one else's fault. All of that power, all of that responsibility falls to me. That's not the only lesson that I learned from Dilip though. When being mentored by Dilip, I learned a key storytelling fundamental: character development. Speeches need stories, and stories are driven by the journey of the characters in them. You need a character who your audience can get behind and cheer for. If you want an example, just think about how this video that you're watching was structured. I structured this video in a similar way to how I was instructed by Dilip to form my story and my speeches. Basically, to develop my characters and set the foundation for my story, I answer 6 questions. If you're able to see those elements in this video, see if you can incorporate that into your own stories and your own speeches. But here's something else that I want you to keep in mind when it comes to mentors. Now, I learned from Dilip as my in-person mentor, and those are definitely necessary, but we live in the information era. You can find other mentors and role models virtually. I learned so much just by watching other great speakers and breaking down their techniques and styles. If you want to see the speakers who inspired me to become champion, here's a short playlist that you can watch. But I also want you to find your own speaking role models on YouTube and learn from them. To be a great speaker, you have to learn from great speakers. My friends, keep speaking, keep improving, and take care.